I think one of the interesting ways to start writing music or riffs is to start from the chord progression, and that's what technically happened with this new song that I'm currently writing. As you can see from the previous video, it all started with that fairly simple chord progression that I started with, that was also based on the open chords. So once I got those chords set up, I took a listen to the drum pattern that basically sounded like this. I just wanted to add some more dynamics to the verse before the first chorus. So therefore I just tried to listen to different types of drum patterns or drum loops, and then find a way to add the dynamics from that way. So after I picked up this drum groove, I already listened how the bass drum was working there and got the idea of the basic rhythm for the riff. After experimenting a little bit with the rhythm of that part, I figured out how to do it. So just brief reminder, the chords here are A minor, G major, F major, and technically we are playing E minor. And I used a 7th string in order to just add a little bit more punch to that part of the song. Because the first chord here is A minor. I wanted to use the bottom A string to add that extra depth here to really explode the dynamics. So what I thought was making the most sense was to follow the bass drum, which is kind of doing that. Or that's what I heard. I started to experiment with this, okay, where this could go. This was sounding so simple. So together these two sound or with the or the 6th string version would be So what I wanted to experiment here was to just see what happens if I just use the first half of the riff that follows the chord progression, and the second half is technically just. So basically with this chord progression it would be And with E minor, I wanted to add a little bit more tension towards the pre-chorus and chorus to, make those parts of the song pop up even more. So I wanted to use and then first half of it is yeah, it's like that. So it's and it still follows the A minor. And that way it's already building the tension towards the pre-chorus, which is just a riff part. So here's how the whole verse sounds like. And then it goes to the pre-chorus. So the takeaway here is to just follow, at least with the bass note or the first note of the chord progression, and then try to write something around that follows the scale as well. And here everything is technically and theoretically in the same key of A minor. And one thing that is really cool of this part is that it's also following the static part here that is staying the same through the whole chord progression. So it's just happening here in the lower string, and it's like a different take of it and creates a little bit more tension. So that's basically how I came up with this, like the verse part, and it happened in the live stream as well. So you may be able to find that from my previous live streams. But I'm also starting to do more live streams where I'm going to do more songwriting. For the pre-chorus, I just wanted to do something really complex, and I think the drum groove was already like feeding that idea really well. With this part, I wanted to have a sending line that would go something like start from the A and somehow create tension. So I started experimenting a lot again, and also use the open string. So it looks really complex, but it's fairly easy to play because of the open string and hammer-on pull-off approach. So what is happening here is I just use the open A string and follow the A minor scale. Here at the end of this like ascending line, I wanted to move like across the fretboard to do the next string, and just use also a little bit of tapping that is more like a little bit like a nod towards like the progressive metal here. So it starts from 7/8 on the A string, on the E string 7/8, and then 12, 13, you slide it and then pull it back, and then use the pull off. And to me it sounds really cool and it's effective way, and that's like repeated 3 times. So here on the last time it goes 7/8, 7/8, 7/8, but here the upper part here is slightly different, so it's like 14 to 15 on the D string. No, sorry, on the A string. So 7/8, 7/8, 7/8, and then 14, 15, 14, and then a pull off. And then you just hammer on these notes like that. So it's fairly complex, but also fairly simple at the same time. So the key here is just to get the slide thing going on with the tapping. So you can also just use this as a little exercise to and so on. So that's basically what's happening here in the pre-chorus part as well. So from the riff writing perspective, I'm just following the A minor scale here like linearly on one string, and then here on the 7th fret and 7th and 8th fret here, this is just A minor as well, and then the tapped notes are also like in the key as well. So that can also help with riff writing as well. And then following the bass note here is also like one way to approach it. That's basically like how I approach the riff writing, or the first part of the riff writing here with this song. And I think this is also like the key part of the song until everything goes a little bit more like progressive. So so that's basically what happened in the first half of this song. There's something different happening on the second verse, but the key elements are there as well. So that's how some parts started to live on this song. Up next, there's still a lot to do with it. I got the demo lyrics to this song, and also like the solos are mainly there. And I think there's still some of the guitar arrangements that we are going to take a look with this small mini series of making the song be on the safe path towards the release. So yeah, that's all for now. I hope you found this useful and hopefully see you in the next one. Cool, bye.